Cade Cunningham is already a top 10 player in the league. The ones that's ahead of him, they see him coming right now. And when I think about Cade, he's giving me Luka Doncic, LeBron James vibes, right? That perimeter player that's 6'8", strong, physical, could score at all levels and then make guys around him better, coach.
Most people thought the Detroit Pistons would go off this season. They figured maybe they would sneak in and grab a low playoff spot. They were supposed to be a fun, young team that gave the top contenders a major headache.
Cade stops topside, fires for three, and it's through. Count that, baby, and a foul.
They just made the playoffs for the first time in years. They even gave the Knicks a huge scare. Nobody expected that, but absolutely no one saw this coming. 13 straight wins, #1 in the East. They are not just promising, they are flat out better than everyone they play. The Pistons have blown up every single prediction. This team is rewriting the entire Eastern Conference right now. Now, let us talk about the history. This is a team with 3 championships, but the Pistons started the 24-25 season coming off the worst record in the league. They finished 14-68. They had a 28-game losing streak. They missed the playoffs for the 5th straight year. It felt like they had hit rock bottom. But then, something unbelievable happened. The Pistons shocked the whole league. They finished 44-38. That was good for 6th place in the East. They became the first team in NBA history to triple their win total. They went from 14 wins to 44 wins. That is a massive leap, one of the biggest one-year turnarounds in NBA history. This team was a joke just 2 seasons ago. Now they were pushing for 50 wins. They played competitive basketball all season. For the first time in over 10 years, the Motor City had real hope. But that hope had limits. Detroit was a surprise last season. Most people thought they still had a long way to go in 25-26. Many thought they would take a small step back or just stay the same, especially since they lost key guys like Malik Beasley, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Dennis Schroeder. Those vets were huge for their rise. People guessed maybe 45 wins, just a tiny step up. They expected small, steady progress at best. Then, the season started. We are a quarter of the way through the schedule. The Pistons have shocked everyone again. Almost nobody expected Detroit to be the #1 team in the Eastern Conference after 25 games, let alone riding a franchise record 13-game winning streak. A quick streak in November can be luck, but 13 straight wins and a 20-5 start? That is no accident. And here's the craziest part. They've done all this through injuries. 10 different players have been hurt. They have even had to play games without their star, Cade Cunningham. But every time someone went down, someone else stepped up. On top of that, they haven't even shot the ball great yet. That means we haven't even seen the best version of this team. But here we are, 20 wins, 5 losses. They are sitting at the top of the East, 2.5 games ahead of the Knicks, 5 ahead of the Celtics. We expected growth this year. What we got was a full-blown Eastern Conference contender. The same team that couldn't finish games now looks totally calm in the clutch.
Mr. Fourth Quarter.
Cunningham.
They got him.
Over to Robinson for 3.
The same guys who used to find wild ways to lose are now getting huge statement wins. Sure, it's easy to say it's early, but 25 games in, this is not a lucky hot streak. This is a certified declaration. Detroit basketball is officially back. And speaking of back, we have to talk about the 2 huge pillars making this happen, Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren. Their connection and their individual jumps are the foundation of Detroit's rise. Cunningham went from an all-NBA guy last season to having his name thrown into the MVP talk this year, and he totally deserves it. He's putting up career highs everywhere, 27 points, 9 assists, and 6 boards. That is the kind of line most players only dream about. He is carrying the whole offense, but he is also killing it on defense. He is posting a career-high 1.5 steals per game. His usage rate is the highest of his career and 6th in the whole NBA. He is clearly the engine of this team. This was supposed to be the year someone helped him out. It has not happened yet, but honestly, it has not mattered. Cade is not just a scorer. He defends, he rebounds, he gets turnovers, he controls the speed. And on offense, he is one of the league's better scorers and a top 5 playmaker. When you put all that in one guy, no wonder Cunningham is firmly top 5 in the MVP ladder. The most underrated part of Cade's game this season is what he does when it matters most. In clutch time, he has been the best player in the league. His ability to mess with defenses, control the tempo, and make the right play under huge pressure is why the Pistons are 20-5. Detroit has not been crushing teams. Most wins have been tight, high-pressure battles. In those moments, Cade has consistently taken over on both ends. There's a reason only Giannis scores more fourth-quarter points than Cunningham's 9.5 per game, and why he only trails SGA in clutch points per game at 5.3. When the game gets tight, Cade's fingerprints are everywhere. That is a massive reason the Pistons are 12-4 in clutch situations this season. There's not much bad to say, except for his three-point shooting. It has been flat-out bad. He is only hitting 30% from deep on a career-high 6.2 attempts per game. He ranks in the bottom 5% of the league in almost every three-point category, whether it's pull-ups, catch-and-shoot, or wide-open looks. Even during his recent 10-game run, averaging nearly 30 points, he's shooting just 27% from three. And that's the scary part. Even with bad outside shooting, he is still putting up MVP-level numbers. Imagine his stat line if those threes started falling, not just from the extra points, but from how much it would force defenses to stretch and open up the rest of the court. Cade Cunningham has been incredible this season, and the fact there's still room for him to get better should terrify the rest of the league. Another Piston quietly terrifying the league is Jalen Duren. He has always been strong, but this season he is leaning fully into it. He's the perfect version of himself, a guy who controls the rim on both sides. Through 22 games, Duren is putting up career highs everywhere. 18.6 points, 11.3 rebounds, 1.8 assists, and 1 block per game. He is shooting 65% from the field and 75% from the free throw line in just 29 minutes a night. What makes him so good is not fancy scoring, it is mastery of what he already does best. Duren is a magnet in the roll game. He catches lobs for thunderous dunks, and he punishes guys with putbacks off offensive boards. He has added new moves, too. He is taking bigger guys off the dribble and mixing in mid-range shots. A lot of that growth came this summer. Coach Bickerstaff worked with him one-on-one for 2 weeks. They built a level of trust that is clearly paying off. The improvement is not just offense. Defensively, Duren is becoming the force of nature Detroit wanted. He is quicker, more aware. His pick-and-roll defense is much better. Defense was a big question mark, but paired with Isaiah Stewart, he is protecting the rim. He is helping the Pistons rank top 5 defensively. Duren is a weapon on his own now. He is no longer just a lob threat for Cade Cunningham. He has expanded his whole game. The crazy part? He is still only 22 years old. The best days for Jalen Duren are still ahead. But what makes this Pistons team so dangerous is not just Cade and Duren alone, it is their connection. Their chemistry has been a driving force in Detroit's rise, and it started off the court in ways you would not expect. Last summer, Cunningham set up an off-the-grid week in Colorado with friends, and Duren was right there. They stayed in small cabins, trained, hiked, fished, and challenged themselves in nature. Later, they went to Rome for 2 weeks. They explored the city and worked on their games together. That time away built the foundation for their chemistry on the court. That chemistry shows up in every pick and roll. Coach Bickerstaff made it the main play of Detroit's offense, and the results speak for themselves. Cunningham has 183 points as the ball handler in pick and rolls. That trails only SGA and Donovan Mitchell. Duren has 68 points as the roll man. That puts him with huge names like Nikola Vucevic, DeAndre Ayton, and tied with 3-time MVP Nikola Jokic. Their connection is huge for assists, too. Cunningham has 41 assists to Duren, more than to anyone else. Duren has 9 assists to Cunningham, more than Cunningham gets from anyone else. Their two-man rating of 14.3 is the highest among Detroit players who shared at least 400 minutes. Together, they have transformed Detroit's half-court game. Both are having amazing career years, still have room to grow, and are building what could be the best big guard duo in the league. Their chemistry is the key reason the team went from a league joke to a top contender in the East. While Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren get all the headlines, the Pistons' success is not just about the stars. Guys like Isaiah Stewart and Duncan Robinson are just as important. In today's NBA, where defense is often forgotten, Stewart reminds us that defense still matters. He brings the skills every modern team needs. He can protect the rim and guard shooters outside. This season, Stewart is averaging 2 blocks per game, up from 1.4 last year. That is tied for second in the league. He also leads the NBA in the percentage of shots missed right at the rim. Anyone who tries him there usually regrets it. With his timing and strength, Stewart has become one of the league's best defenders. He is the anchor for what is now one of the top defenses in the NBA. Offensively, Stewart is averaging 10.4 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game. He's shooting 53% from the field and an improved 41% from three-point range. That longer range makes him a bigger threat. It lets him help Duren without hurting the team's floor spacing. If he stays healthy, Stewart is firmly in the Defensive Player of the Year talk. His impact on this team cannot be overstated. While Stewart anchors the defense, Duncan Robinson does something no one else can. He spaces the floor like a one-man offense. When Detroit traded for Robinson, many critics complained about his $17 million contract, but through 23 games, he is proving his worth. He brings the shooting the Pistons cannot get anywhere else. He is the only player opposing teams truly fear as a shooter, and that fear opens up everything for Detroit's offense. Robinson is one of the league's best shooters, and his impact is more than just stats. Teams are not worried about anyone else shooting on the Pistons because he is the only real threat from deep. He is averaging 12.5 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists, while shooting 44% from the field and 40.5% from 3 on 7.5 attempts per game. He is playing a career-high 31.8 minutes and starting every game. He leads the team with 3.1 made threes per game, way more than Cade Cunningham's 1.9 makes on 6.3 attempts at 30%. Robinson's value is not just the makes, it is the gravity. He is always running off the ball. He pulls defenders away. He creates space for Cunningham, Duren, and the rest of the team. Robinson is more important to Detroit than anyone expected. His shooting makes everyone around him better. With all that said, we have to talk about why this Pistons team is just different. In today's NBA, everyone focuses on big offense, wild dunks, and deep threes. Defense is often forgotten, but defense still wins games and championships. That is exactly where Detroit built its team. The Pistons rank 4th in the NBA in defensive rating and 6th in points allowed. On any given night, expect Detroit to swarm. The numbers do not lie. Coach Bickerstaff has taught this team to buy in mentally, but Detroit is also full of young, tough defenders who love this mindset. Duren and Isaiah Stewart anchor the paint. Meanwhile, Cunningham, Ron Holland II, and the versatile Ausar Thompson create chaos on the outside. Another emerging identity is their clutch time mastery. The Pistons are 12-4 in clutch situations. They hold opponents to a league-best 33.7% shooting in the final 5 minutes of tight games or in overtime. Most young teams fail when the game is on the line, but Detroit thrives there. They also dominate the paint and the boards. They are first in points in the paint, second in total rebounds, and second in offensive rebound percentage. This is not finesse basketball, it is relentless basketball, and this mindset has driven the Pistons so far and will carry them through the rest of the season. You cannot talk about this Pistons team without mentioning the Bickerstaff effect. It started last season when he came in during a tough time. His demanding, no-nonsense style stabilized the locker room. It totally reshaped the team's identity. Players listen to him, and the results are clear. Since he took over, the Pistons play with an urgency they lacked for years. Every player, every possession, every move matters. It doesn't matter who's available. Bickerstaff demands effort, discipline, and total buy-in. Last season, he finished second in Coach of the Year voting. This season, he is building an even stronger case. Almost nobody expected the Pistons to be at the top of the East, especially while dealing with injuries and a young roster, yet they keep passing every test. If they keep this up, Bickerstaff is not just coaching a great team, he could easily win Coach of the Year. This does not mean everything is perfect in Detroit. The Pistons still have big weaknesses they need to fix. The biggest issue, three-point shooting. They are 19th in three-point percentage and 28th in attempts. Cade is struggling to hit shots, and Robinson is the only consistent shooter. When Robinson sits, it shows. If Detroit wants to go deep into the playoffs where every flaw is exposed, this has to get better. Cade is also being overworked and relied upon too much. With backups playing poorly or hurt, the Pistons need more balance. He cannot carry this team alone all season. That said, there is plenty of reason for hope. Despite offensive weaknesses, the Pistons keep winning. Once the roster is healthy and everyone plays together, the offense could hit a whole new gear.
There is another level waiting for this offense, players in sync, healthy, and with clear jobs. A 50-plus win season and first-round home court advantage are all within reach. If the young players don't get better quickly, the Pistons have the cap space to make moves before the trade deadline to fix their problems. The foundation is there. They just need everything to come together. We knew the Pistons would be fun, but what they have become is a certified contender. This is not the same Detroit Pistons. If you're sleeping on them, it might be already too late. What do you think? Can this Pistons team go all the way, or is there still one move they need to make before the trade deadline? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because we have plenty more coming. And if you enjoyed this video, check out one of these on your screen now.